Healing, energetic things are shift in energy. It's I think that's really all it is. And a shift can mean a lot of things to you. Um, a release, like it can look a bunch of different ways, but ultimately it's a moving from one point to the other, and that energy is going somewhere. And it is usually initiated by an energetic experience with a healer. It's the intention. The healer could be you, the healer could be your spirit guide, the healer could be someone you go to, you know, whatever the case might be, but it's an intentional process. I think healings probably happen all the time in different ways, but I think when we're really sitting down to do this with intention, that's what I would really call an energetic healing, like kind of in the way that we're talking about them today. Like I said earlier, like when you're reading someone's energy, and as you're speaking the messages and telling them, you are initiating healings. Our voice is healing, hearing something is healing. That lands on the person's body, that starts a shift. But that's not always going to be, I don't want to say enough, but it's not always going to get the ball rolling in a way that's going to be super helpful for you, for your client. Maybe you want to see a quicker shift, or maybe it's just not quite reaching. Because I find, even interestingly, like, you know, the thing that people want to shift is often what's holding them back from receiving the healing itself. Whatever their block is, they can't quite take it in. So maybe it's not happening as quickly as you'd like. Maybe there might be a lot of reasons why you want to do a healing, but it just supports you in shifting someone's energy, bypassing the brain, bypassing talk therapy, bypassing, let me reason this out. Like, that's so important. I'm a huge component of that. But there is a time where that doesn't fully get me there, and we're going to drop into the body, we're going to drop into the energy centers, because healings go straight into the subconscious mind, into the energetic body, and work their way out through there. And I just think it's an interesting interplay, like the way our minds can hit our energy, the way our energy can hit our minds. It's kind of just like this symbiotic relationship, and both are great. Some signs that energetic healing could help. This happens all the time for me. Person is seeking support, but they're just really closed off. They want it. I mean, this happens to me, quite frankly. It's like, I want something, but I'm just like not really letting the experience in. I'm not letting the shift in. I'm not actually taking the action. That's always when I know I'm like, I need some support here. I need to help, like to move through this. The person can't make a shift, even though they really want to and have tried. They're like, oh my God, they'll hear people be like, I just want to do this thing and I can't quite get there. That's always a good indication to me that like some energy needs to move. A great big reason for healing, and something I see in my clients a lot, is that the physical body is showing signs of a blocked emotion. I will always ask in my sessions, like, I like to start with kind of why you're here, what are you trying to get out of it? Maybe the more, head stuff. And then I'm like, what's going on with your body? Like, how do you feel today? Where do you feel today? Where are you in pain? Like, what's all that? Because that's such good information for me about where I'm looking for blocks, where I'm looking for anything that might need to be moved out. And another reason that an energetic healer can help is because, like, just the talk sessions feel too slow. They're not accomplishing what you want, whether that's for you or if you're working with a client. And something I was always really curious about, and I think is usually a common question, is, kind of this journey that happens. Like, do you take a client? Do you not take a client? And there are going to be a couple healings that you learn that require the person that you're doing the healing on, the future self, the former self. They have to be there because it's a part of the experience. And sometimes I think in a healing, the person you're doing the healing on being there, talking through it with you, is a big part of the healing. And sometimes I think it's unnecessary and maybe unhelpful to do that. Like, I find, like, in my sessions, if I'm working with a soul teacher, if I'm working with someone who has this knowledge, or someone who's just curious, I maybe will bring them with me in the way that, like, we're going to all kind of go together. But a lot of my clients aren't that. And I think that if I guided them to the upper world, they'd be like, literally, what's happening? So it comes more of just like, I do that myself. I bring them the information that feels relevant to share. And, a lot of my sessions are silent. Like, a part of my session is in silence, and then I'll come back and kind of share what's going on. So that is really kind of a personal choice as well. Feeling out the client, feeling out your customer, your friend, your family, whatever it is. Like, if they're open to it and they're curious, great. I don't think it's necessary to always bring them. Yeah, so let's talk about that. And then a couple more things. Best practices for healings. I already mentioned this several times, the intention, being really clear about the intention of what you're healing and why is, I just think, so important, and really helps me stay out of my own BS, my own ego of like, I have to do this right. It's like, set the intention of like, first of all, I think it's helpful. This is something I talk about to myself about all the time. I believe we're just vessels for this work. I believe we're vessels for the energy healing. I don't believe that this power is my power. And that helps me so much when I get into the like, I want to heal this person. I want to impress them. I want to do whatever it is I'm doing. Um, when I'm healing someone that I respect, when I'm healing someone that has helped me, whatever the case might be, or I just, I'm a human who wants people to, not only I want to help people, but I want people to like me, obviously. That is what I remind myself of. Like, I am simply a vessel, and I often say a prayer at the beginning. I said a prayer before this class. Like, I am simply a vessel for whatever needs to come through for the greatest and highest good of you guys. And that is completely true with healing too. It is not me doing it. So that's the first intention I set. And then the intention for the healing. So not only do I have an intention about, especially if I'm working with someone who I know what they're trying to do, this is my intention to help them move through XYZ. And then, always important, and Nikki talks about this a lot too, is that the healing happens in balance and for the highest and greatest good of the person you're doing the healing on. It's really simple. And like, sometimes you forget, it's fine. It's not like the end of the world, but I just think that bringing that kind of focus in is really helpful, because sometimes healings can be intense and healings can rock people. And I just think that that might be true anyway. That might be the experience they need to have, and we can trust the experience that they need to have, of course. But I think that little added extra loving cushion of like, this is going to be in balance, is really helpful.